What's up, y'all? New Brighton back at it again today. Looking at the coronavirus. Now, it's been in the news. Everybody knows coronavirus is in the news. It's being pushed. One thing about the coronavirus is every virus gets pushed every 5, 10 years. There's going to be a virus out. It's going to be pushed. Has to be pushed for a reason. The reason why is because practice makes perfect. If you have a massive, if you have a massive uh, outbreak, you have to know how to contain it. You have to practice just like anything else. If you want to be good at playing golf, then you're gonna go to the golf course, once, twice, 3 times a week, and improve your game. But breaking down the coronavirus. Now I have a pic right here. It is a picture of our sun in this solar system. Now, I was breaking down the layers of the sun. The um the outside layer of the sun, it's called the corona. The corona, right? So when you look at this word corona, it's in the lower left hand corner on the bottom. Corona. And then you look at the coronavirus, right? Knowing that the sun is getting hotter, the solar rays are pretty much unpredictable. They're unpredictable. Solar rays can go from a certain degree into, millions and millions of degrees in a matter of seconds, instantly. They're called solar bursts. So I'm looking at this coronavirus, and that was the first thing that came to my mind was um, the corona outskirts of the sun, the solar rays. Now, when you're dealing with the solar rays of the sun, um, a lot of scientists and you know uh, philosophers, they know that the sun controls a lot of intel. It shoots out intel, intel turns into information. That's why it's called the intelligence agency, because they're always looking for what's next. They don't care about um, yesterday. If it's not a threat, they don't care about yesterday. They're always looking for the next. So the coronavirus, when I saw that, I said this virus could be on a scale of breaking down your genetics, where you cannot receive that futuristic intel from the sun. Now, this ain't sun worship. You're not worshiping the sun. This is basically real simple. It's about gathering intel from the sun. So now is this coronavirus basically a virus that's supposed to mutate into something where you're not receiving intel from the sun or receiving the solar rays from the sun on a scale that you're supposed to receive it from? Why did they name it the coronavirus? There's always science to this. The coronavirus. And my goal is to make people think. When you watch my videos, a lot of people will be like, "Oh, that's just a coincidence." That's fine. But at the same time, you're going to be thinking like, "Okay, like what are the signs from you dealing with this coronavirus? Is it being targeted towards so-called black people, the ones who have that carbon coating in their skin? Some people, some black people call it melanin, which is not melanin. It's a carbon coating. So is it something to affect that? Something that's going to not really um not let you endure the sun rays and receive that futuristic intel. It really makes you think when they say the coronavirus. The first thing, so I'll put these videos out here because there might be somebody else out there that, you know what, that clicks. That really makes sense. The outskirts of the sun is called the corona. Why is it called the corona? Right? I'm sorry. Why is the virus called the coronavirus? Is it supposed to stop something coming through the atmosphere? Is it a genetic mutation that's supposed to stop something so you can receive next futuristic intel from the sun? Without the sun, the whole solar system is nothing but space filled with rock stars. That's all it is, rock stars. When you hear those songs and they say "party like a rock," I ain't gonna say the rest because you know YouTube be tripping. But that one song, are you supposed to be kicking it like a rock star, right? That song is basically letting you know that they want you on a lunar frequency. A lunar frequency. What is a rock star? A rock star is not the sun. What's the next closest rock star? It will be the moon, lunar energy. So when people say rock star, they're actually letting you tap into the lunar energy and not the solar energy. That's where the term rock star comes from because that's what the moon is. It's a rock in space, which is a star. Now, when you're dealing with the sun is a ball of uh, solar straight energy power, right? So that's where that term rock star comes from. They want you focused on the moon energy and not focused on the solar energy. So is the coronavirus doing that? Is the coronavirus mutating into something where you won't receive the solar rays, the solar intel, the futuristic intel? That's coming through the atmosphere at a rapid more speed because the year is 2020 now. So it's coming at a rapid more speed now. Breaking down and decoding the coronavirus. Now, who's that targeting? Because when you deal with something first and you deal with something second, when you deal with something first is always going to be more of a priority than something that's second. Because something that's first can become second or third, but it can always, at one point, jump back to first. Makes you think about this coronavirus. Is it trying to block the solar rays from the sun, genetically mutating in your system? Is it knocking out your carbon? Right? The coronavirus. Is it blocking the corona sun rays? Is it? And another thing also, like everybody knows about coronas, the drink. Even if you don't drink, you know about coronas. I drink, I'm a drinker. So I drink wine, I do drink coronas. Um, and when I drink a corona, what's the number one thing people put in coronas, right? The number one thing people put in coronas is lemon and limes. So the first thing I thought was, okay, you got the coronavirus. Then I started thinking about corona on a physical aspect as far as just to drink. What are you putting it? You know, maybe a good 60, 70% of them that people that drink coronas, they put limes in it. You know, you got the other 30%, maybe 30 or 40, put lemons in it. So what is this? Is there a lemon disease? No, but there is a Lyme disease, which is embedded into man or mankind by a tick that is possessed with the Lyme disease, a tick bite. See, I'm making you think. Now, when you're dealing with Lyme disease, now with the coronavirus and the Lyme disease, now everybody knows it's just real simple when you start thinking about this. Everybody knows when you deal with a corona, you either put a lemon in it or you put a lime in it. Some people drink it. I say about maybe 10% people that drink coronas drink it straight. The other 90%, they're putting lemons or limes in it. I say like a good majority of people put limes in it. So the coronavirus, and then you have Lyme disease. The question is the Lyme disease going to help the coronavirus? Is it a antidote, or is it an accelerant to it? You see, because all these codes they put right in your face, they're always going to put in your face because they communicate through these codes where they don't have to talk, right? So once you start dissecting this stuff and you trying to figure out what's the pros, what's the cons. So, but one thing about the Lyme disease was more focused on mankind, which is um, the East Indians, Caucasians, the Asians. The Lyme disease was more focused on those races of people.